Why does the masculine energy run away from the feminine energy? Okay, so I know that on the journey, this is extremely painful for the divine feminine. But as you will be ascending on the journey, you will understand this more and more. You will come across explanations on your own. You will also know it very deeply when you connect with your twin flame telepathically. Then the higher self of your twin will also tell you all of this. You will also understand them at a much deeper level as you will understand your own, issues with intimacy and your own fears and traumas and patterns. That also gives you an insight into the behavior of the divine masculine. But leaving all of that aside, for now, I just want to share a few reasons, a few common reasons why the masculine energy runs away. So, the first reason is that the general, matrix is very hard on masculine energies, especially if they are in a male body. It can also be that if they are in a female body, they could have had similar experiences if they're dominantly carrying the masculine energy. So men are not allowed to feel their emotions, to fully, express themselves emotionally. It's considered to be very weak. It's considered to be unmanly. So this is one reason that they learn to not be connected to their emotional self. They have a lot of buried emotions, and only when they start awakening, they open up to their emotional side and they process their emotions. But until then, their emotions are kind of buried inside. So they live their lives very logically. So when they meet the divine feminine, it doesn't make sense logically to be with the divine feminine, and their emotional side is, not that active. They're not in touch with it. They are very scared of feeling their emotions. They think that it's like a barrage that is going to open and then God knows what will happen, right? So they don't want to go there. They're very afraid of their emotions. Now, a second reason is that they sometimes have this fear of abandonment. So, this fear of abandonment can be due to, early childhood wounds, that somebody they trusted left them, or somebody they really loved kind of betrayed them. And because they have not had the tendency to process their emotions, the fear remained stuck inside them. Mostly what will happen is the feminine energy, if she has been betrayed and angered, and she has had abandonment issues, maybe with either of her parents or a partner in the past, she has had the emotional bandwidth to kind of process it. She has cried, she's vented out to friends, she's opened up about it. Think of the time you broke up at some point of time, somebody betrayed you, how many people you opened up to, especially if you were young. Mostly many, mostly you would, at least your close friends will know what you went through, right? So something like that is not there with the divine masculine. So they have never processed that. So it has become bigger than it needs to be, right? So this is why men generally don't open up to each other, and masculine energies, again, like I said, irrespective of gender, they don't have the opportunity to open up. They don't feel safe in opening up. So that is unprocessed hurt, so that gets triggered. Okay, now a third part of this is that it is extremely illogical for the divine masculine to have somebody as perfectly congruent with them as the divine feminine. They also feel an intense attraction. They also see your merit and value. They know that they've not met anyone like you before. They are as surprised as you are at the compatibility, at the way you think, and they receive all these signs and all of that, and the universe is also telling them it is something significant. But they are so logic driven in the beginning, until they awaken, that they don't take these signs seriously. So they'll just say, yeah, yeah, so it happens. It's not a big deal. It could be a coincidence. So they act from the safe space of logic. It's also their natural space, natural imbalanced space. And this is why, you come into energetic balance and union later on in the journey. But until then, you are operating from what is your dominant, way of being. And it's not a healed way of being, it's like a repressed energy of pain that is governing these dominant energies. So it doesn't make logical sense to them. Okay, so logically it could be that she is of a different age, and she is of a different class or a caste, or nationality, or she lives in a different country, or it doesn't make sense and all of that. Okay, now a fourth common reason is that they have low self-worth, wounds within them where they don't feel deserving of love, and sometimes they don't even understand that unconditional love is possible. It's very natural for the feminine to be unconditionally loving towards the masculine, to accommodate the masculine in ways that she has never accommodated anybody before, to forgive and to just be around all the time, to wanting to help, even financially, and in all ways possible the feminine is there if the masculine needs anything. Even if they don't need anything, the feminine always offers support to the masculine in whatever way she can. That is because of your natural excitement, but also the love that you are feeling that is so unexplained, and the natural ability you feel to trust your masculine in the beginning without even knowing them totally or completely. So because of this unconditional love is something that they don't understand, they don't know how to process, they don't know what to make of it. Logically it is not making any sense at all. So they withdraw from it. It can be very scary, and it can seem like they don't trust it, they don't trust this love. So again the hurts get activated, that it can be taken away. If I go too deep into it, it can be taken away. All right. Something stemming from this is also sometimes the masculine energy is commitment phobic. And that is because, commitment can mean, that will not be true for everyone, but for, some of you on the journey, that in general, commitment means that they are obligated, it demands a lot from them. And sometimes in the past, when they were committed to something, they were providing for somebody, maybe their family or friends or a partner or something like that. It would have exacted too much out of them. It would have meant being chained. It would have meant losing your freedom. So, they don't want to lose their freedom. Actually, nobody in life wants to lose their freedom. But when the masculine energy is unawakened, it is operating in lower vibrational energy, which tends to be the kind of energy that it draws in very low vibrational feminine energy. So, which can be very controlling, like a low vibrational feminine energy, which you may call to be karmic energy, is controlling. It's, is like manipulative, or has a tendency to sort of be very self, centered. That you're only here for my service. So they could have had those kinds of experiences in the past. Never judge this kind of energy, because it's always a manifestation of the inner energy. And also remember that when the divine feminine on the twin flame path, when they are unawakened, even they operate in these low vibrational energies towards their significant partners and their friends and all in the past. So don't look at it as, holier than thou kind of a perspective that you have towards yourself and maybe some other towards someone else. Everyone is created in, you know, is acting as a reflection of your own inner energy. So nothing is happening outside of what you've signed up for. So, because of these experiences of past hurts and past pains, the divine masculine has a certain, aversion to commitment, that I don't want to commit. So, it's better to just be free and, and go on to the next thing and all of that. Another reason is that they can have, energies of distraction and addiction present inside of them. Addictions are essentially just anything which is a distraction from the pain that they feel, or more than the pain, it's a void that, they may be feeling. If you are emotionally cut out for your entire life, there is no juice in life, there is no substance to various parts of life. So, and it is very difficult and painful to feel those emotions. So what they do is they distract themselves. They will distract themselves with various things, like it can be casual sex, it can be alcohol, it can be work, it can be something else, it can be, maybe family responsibilities, depending on their individual situations. There is something that they might be distracting themselves with. So they go into the comfort of that distraction. And when they meet the feminine energy, it is very hard to be that distracted, which actually brings me to the next point. It's almost like the same point. I'm speaking in a flow, and you know, it's that when the feminine energy meets the divine masculine energy, she triggers the masculine, just like the masculine triggers the feminine. The feminine also triggers the masculine a lot. And this trigger is like a mirror that the feminine holds to the masculine energy's pain and vulnerability. They become aware of their fear of being with you. And in that awareness of the fear that they have of being with you, they know that this fear is coming from their past pain. And that pain has such a large magnitude that they don't want to look at it right then. So this is also why, they would rather distract themselves with karmic situations or other things that are much easier to do, or addictions or such things, where they want to go back to those things so that they can continue to live their lives as they were, rather than facing pain. Now you understand that their fear is that of facing pain, the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of, if I'm vulnerable, I'll be taken for granted. If I'm vulnerable, I'll be rejected. The last point can be the fear of rejection. That what if I open up and I'm fully vulnerable, I'm fully intimate, I will be rejected because in the past I have been rejected. They can have their personal experiences. Sometimes masculine energies have gone through bullying, they've gone through very difficult financial situations, and other aspects where they've had lots of social responsibilities and stuff like that. So vulnerability is something that they are scared of, because it is deeply intimate to be vulnerable. And they've kind of ignored all of this in the difficulties of their life. So the opportunity to become vulnerable with the feminine is very scary for them. So that is why they run away. They run away from what you trigger inside of them. They do not run away because they don't like you. They don't run away because they want to hurt you. They do not run away because they want to disrespect you. So never ever take their running away to be a personal affront to your sense of self-respect and all of that. This is where, in the beginning sometimes, and even later on, the feminine can feel, he disrespected me. Oh my god, he did this horrible thing to me. Nobody has done this to me. He blocked me, he didn't respond to my text, or he said this and he acted like this. You hold all of this as an opportunity for you to heal. It's a great opportunity if the masculine has triggered you. You do not take refuge in your egoic self, because your egoic self loves separation. Will always be like, this is not my twin flame, this is not the same energy. Or will say, oh, this is my twin, but he's too low vibrational and I am too high vibrational. There is no difference in the vibrations of twin flames. If you feel my twin is low vibrational, then means that the feminine energy within also is low vibrational. You have to understand, what does it mean to be a feminine, right? So it's not some high esteem idea that of, because it's not an egoic journey. It's a journey where you surpass the ego. The lesser you will be rigid, the better it will be for you to be ascending on the journey, because ascension requires that you leave your old self behind. So your masculine shows up in a way where your old self is going to find them intolerable, their behavior at least. But at the same time, you will have a lot of attraction, but the behavior is extremely intolerable. So this means there is now like a conflict between your heart, which wants your divine masculine, which feels the oneness, which feels this love, which gets all these signs and you're like blown away, and your mind, which is like, this is inappropriate, this is nonsense, no one has ever treated me like this. So it is very triggering to the ego. Now you can make a choice. Either you go with the narrative of the ego, and what will happen is that you may end up reinforcing your separation. But at the same time, the whole day you will be in a mood of hatred for your divine masculine. And then when you are closing off for the night, you will again start feeling an attraction and a love. The voice of the heart will come forward, but I only want him or her. Right? Why does this happen? This is the energy you have to understand, because the hatred, etc., needs to be understood very deeply. What has the masculine triggered in me is my ego death. My ego, which is constantly judging everything to be good or bad. My ego cannot stand anything which is not meeting its standards. I have moral standards, I have standards of intelligence, I have standards of ethics and other stuff. I can have standards of social, behavior, right? So you learn to not be so driven by a rigid mindset. All right. There is one important element of this, however, that the masculine does teach the divine feminine, which is to love herself. But very often, this self love is not because you have to hate your masculine, and hating your masculine and rejecting your masculine or criticizing your masculine means you are loving yourself, because your twin is you only. So do not understand this to be egoic self love. They are going to trigger something in you which will tell you that you are enough in yourself. That is self love, that I am enough. I am a full, complete life within myself. That is self love. That is a recognition of the true self, is self love. And then along with when you come on the journey, everything will trigger inside of you a certain understanding of how you have not accepted your true self. It is never about becoming more for your divine masculine and doing more and looking really beautiful or looking really, in the physical matrix terms, very attractive or something. You never do any of that. That is not your authentic energy. Your true self, can you accept who you are, as you are created? Usually, this is what the feminine, she processes on this journey. She can do very deep healing work if childhood has been difficult and all that. I always maintain it. You can hold awareness, you can go very deep into this, and you can start to understand these unconscious patterns that are driving your behavior, right? Your journey is not an egoic journey. Your journey is not about fixing yourself or fixing your divine masculine. Remember that it's a journey of awakening to your true self and to release the pain that holds you into your old self. The pain is literally the instrument, through which you are still, like, you're so triggered by your emotions that there is no separation you're able to create with your emotional self. So there is great, work you can do with your consciousness, with your emotions. You can work with your traumas and stuff that kind of fuel your emotional reactions to your twin flame and fuel your emotional reactions to life, that don't allow you to be who you are. All right. So this is why the journey, it changes when the feminine energy awakens, and she changes and she sort of releases her egoic self. Then all of these wounds of the divine masculine, they do not matter at that time. They will also go through their healing process, and higher energies help the both of you to come together. You only have to maintain the focus on yourself. The intent of this journey is not for you to start thinking that I'm going to start healing my twin flame, I'm going to start doing this or that for them. It's not that. Their part you have to surrender, and the intent is just to help you to know that this is why they are running, and to have compassion for your divine masculine, and replacing your judgment or you taking it as a personal disrespect or as something extremely painful that you can't get out of. You're in extreme shock mode or extreme betrayal, especially when you're new on the journey, right? To release that and come into a sense of understanding, broadening your understanding of life. Your journey will broaden your mental horizons from an egoic perspective of judging everything, of this aspect of this is right behavior, that is wrong behavior. We see this very much in today's world. In the matrix, we are contaminated by the matrix. So the matrix is extremely moralistic. Nobody is allowed to get away with anything. Everyone is full of opinions and everyone is full of ideas that they think others should behave like this. But when you come on the twin flame journey, you become a very open-minded person. You have to understand the variety of life. Your masculine acting in ways that do not make your ego happy is a stepping stone for you to become an open-minded person, because you have love in your heart for your twin flame. that love can overcome these judgments and the narrow-mindedness which which we carry because of the matrix. Okay, I hope this helps you. If you wish to work one-on-one with me, we go very deep in these sessions. We do some healing work, and my guidance also works at an intuitive level, and we do some energetic work as well in these sessions. You can click on the first link in the description, see the types of sessions that I offer, and then email me to book a session at a mutually convenient date and time. You can also subscribe to my Patreon page, where I post about 6 videos a month at tier 2 level, and you get access to 4 videos at tier 1 level. The videos go very deep, lots of how-to videos, mini workshops at tier 2 level. Click on the second link in the description, see the library of videos, and if they interest you, then you can subscribe to Patreon. I'm sending you a lot of love.